Hello again. Here's an interesting fact. The world's eyes are on the situation of the war in Ukraine at the moment with Vladimir Putin. But I've been looking back, and this was prompted by my boss. My boss is Bob Larson. He trained me as an exorcist, and Bob mentioned this in passing in one of his recent television outputs or online outputs. And I've been researching it since. He mentioned the fact that there was a spirit of Rasputin. Now, this was all new to me. I'd never heard of a spirit of Rasputin. It's an evil spirit of Russia. And I watched him do an exorcism on a spirit of Rasputin. But where did this come from? Now, I've got on the screen to my left here a Wikipedia input on Grigory Rasputin, who was Russian, a Russian mystic and healer, born in 1869 and assassinated in December of 1916. Now, this man was a wicked man, but he gained notoriety in the court of the Tsar. The Tsar was Tsar Nicholas II in the Russian Imperial Court, and his wife was called Alexandra. Now, this man, Rasputin, claimed to be a prophet, and he was associated, although not part of, the Russian Orthodox Church. Now, if you watch Putin loves the ceremony and the candles and the ambience of the Russian Orthodox Church, and Rasputin was the same. And Rasputin became famous in court because Tsar Nicholas II and his wife Alexandra had a haemophilic son. And this man, Rasputin, he prayed for the son, did something, but invoked maybe some evil spirits, I don't know. But the son was healed. And therefore, Alexandra had great faith in Rasputin. And by 1907, he had a reputation as a healer. And he was invited to the bedside of young Alexis, who was suffering, as I say, from haemophilia. Now, the little boy or the young boy was healed, and the Tsarina and her family considered Rasputin as a healer and a mystic. This man was a charlatan. He had women by the dozen. He was always surrounded by women. He was very excessively sexually possessed. He wanted women all the time. And he was influencing the Russian court too much. And so there was a plot to assassinate him. And he was assassinated, and the story goes that he was shot in the head and then came back to life and all sorts of things like this. You can read about this, as I say, online in Wikipedia. But the thing about Rasputin and his wickedness, what we're all doing at the moment is following the Russian invasion of Ukraine and looking at the completely diabolical acts of violence and aggression by Vladimir Putin. Now, I heard Bob Larson say he has a spirit of Rasputin. It's passed down from the early 20th century now into the 21st century. Spirits don't age, they don't die, they get passed down generation to generation. Now, I trust Bob, he trained me. And so Bob Larson says it's so. As far as I'm concerned, it's so. He's my mentor. So in looking at this situation of violence and unexplainable violence, it becomes very explainable when you can consider that Putin has got this demon in his bloodline and is now acting under the influence of that demon. He's not anywhere to be seen in Moscow. He's probably in a bunker in Siberia or somewhere like that, hiding away, making sure he's not shot. But his acts have been so atrocious that they've provoked tremendous political reaction in the West, in NATO, in USA, in Britain, in France, etc. So why is this happening? Because the man is under the influence of a Rasputin spirit. Now that makes things so much easier to understand. Evil spirits don't consider people in general, they hate people. And Putin is not really concerned about whether he kills civilians with rocket attacks and on schools and centres of civil authority. He's not attacking military targets, he's attacking civilians. He's a very, very bad man, very violent, not considering anything apart from his own ambitions to rebuild the great USSR or whatever. But he is having a terribly bad influence on the world. And I wanted to make this video today so that you can do your own research. Look back. I believe, my boss said, Bob has said, therefore David says, Rasputin, his spirit, this evil spirit of this man has come down into our present age and is causing this violence and this upset in the world. And it could provoke a really bad war, not just in Ukraine, but Putin may not think about stopping in Ukraine. He might go to other places as well. But as we think and pray, what could we do? We bind up this spirit of Rasputin in Putin. Let's take authority over this spirit. Father, in the name of Jesus, we take authority over this Rasputin spirit in Vladimir Putin. We bind this spirit. We forbid him from excessive violence in this war. And we command him to stop in Jesus Christ's name. Now, you may want to pray a more elaborate prayer or a more extensive prayer, but I'm just giving you the idea. Take authority. We have the authority to stop this man and to stop the spirit in this man.